Welcome back, everybody. So today was my 12th session. It was with Karen and Hiske, both in Antwerp. I must say, I love KAP. I love the facilitators. I love this process because, to be honest, it just saves you so much time. You know, when you're out living there and you're trying to do things, trying to get your way, trying to accomplish something, try to grow yourself, grow a company, grow a business, grow a project, grow in some kind of endeavor, whatever. And all the while you have this little voice telling you like that you should be doing something else. The little voice is always present and he's always like inspiring you to make different choices. I'm not saying everything that we're doing is wrong, but it's like until you've hit the threshold of being mistaken so often that you're sick of it, you don't want it anymore, and you change course, you know, it's a lot of trial and error. And what I love about KAP is after each session, you literally in your body, mind, and soul, you feel a recalibration energetically, like neuroplastically, because the messages and the information that you get in the KAP sessions, it goes in your body. You embody it immediately. It's not just information. So it's in your mind, in your body, in your emotion. So it's an experience, and that experience affects you. You're not the same person as you were before the session. This is powerful stuff. This will change you in a good way, because it will allow you to skip ahead of time. You won't have to do so much trial and error. You will be, the more KAP sessions you do, the more there's an invitation to surrender deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's always an invitation. You don't have to. You're not forced to. But if you're willing, you will go deeper and deeper. You will find your purpose. You will find who you are, what's needed. You will find out what it is to be truly in yourself, to be yourself. And that's so valuable, because a lot of times people spend their time chasing things, trying to be somebody, all the while missing out on creatively living their life, living their unique, authentic expression. Anyway, enough ramble. Sorry for that. So today's session was quite intense. Going in, it was, my mind, it was projecting. There was so much expectation. It was like, what will happen today? What can happen that can top today? That mindset was constantly present. It was a bit annoying, but it was there. I was feeling it. So the session started and my body started to move. And immediately an energy cord arose from me and it connected with all the bodies. And it started to, through the cord, my heart was sending love or a white energy, and it was filling up the bodies. And then a voice said, I love you, or be loved. And then it was done. And I felt amazing after that. And after that, I saw my hands glowing white, bright white hands. And then I saw my left finger glowing, and I felt my heart, and I saw a man giving Shaktipat. So, and the voice said, you can do this too. After that, there was a voice, and it said to me, go to the origin of existence. And like some kind of light being came to me. he touched me on the forehead, and it's like a drop of water that it's like, and all vibrations started to vibrate through my body, and there was this sense of time, and then the sense of time became timelessness, the eternal isness that is ever present. That feeling, that experience, it gave me a glimpse into the depth of infinity. It's so vast and it's so everlasting, enduring, that it's incomprehensible. Like, the mind has no way to comprehend infinity. It's impossible. After that, there was constantly chatter in my mind, like, surrender to this process, or I am. Then I saw myself on the street, and an angel or somebody with an energy body hugged me, and we flew into the sky. And when we were in the sky, I saw a bright light in the sky, and the message was, be a light unto others. And I was like, okay, After that, my body was moving a lot. There was a lot of times when my body just stopped breathing, and I just saw, like, so when I close my eyes, I see darkness, right? But then I see all these fluorescent lights also. I see like these almost like small stars. And then I see like this waveform of spacious fog or something. And the more my breath was holding on, the more it got clearer and clearer and clearer. And I saw the energy form, the waveforms of thought, the energy forms of consciousness. I saw the matter of spirit. It was so beautiful to experience that, to be cognizant of that process, to be invited into that, and to witness that. It was wonderful, because it was so intimate. It's just such a strange feeling, and it's so deep. Like, yeah. Then I was just lying on the ground, and my body was like, not moving a lot. I was doing a lot of mudras like this. There's a lot of light coming into my forehead. And then, all of a sudden, I became aware that there were angels standing beside me, 2 angels. And I felt their presence at first, and then they started to pick me up, and I felt like, oh, I need to sit up. And usually I always either sit or I always lay down, and everything's happening like that. This time, they dragged me up, like one here and one here, and they put me up, and I was standing on my feet for the first time. I was like, okay. And then I felt the presence of their hands. So I took the hands of these angels, and we stood into a circle, like with three in total. And all of a sudden, we just started to make noise, like, and the noise was so deep, and it was such a deep vibration, and I felt their vibration also, and I realized we were honoring existence, we were honoring God, we were glorifying the presence of God, the divinity of existence of God. And it was like we were all connected by this energy stream, this glorification of love, and that lasted for a while. And then a KAP facilitator came and she was doing something to me and I got activated. And all of a sudden, this was the first time ever that like I had this visceral experience where my body became like an animal. All of a sudden, I started to jump up and down. Bam, bam, thud, thud, thud. And then with my hands thumping on the ground, rhythmically, without no purpose. I don't know why, I don't know what the purpose is of that. It was happening, it was in the moment. And then all of a sudden, while the thumping was getting harder and harder and harder, the breathing was getting deeper and deeper, like an animal. I was like breathing like an animal, like some kind of like this. And then that stopped. And then I saw images from my life. I saw my pet, and there was an energy cord to my pet that was cut. I saw energy cords to like some people and some attachments. Like it was all like like cut. When that happened, Jesus Christ, I felt the energy, like my own energy being made whole again. I felt myself like, whoa, like I'm free of that. And I realized, whoa, there's so much attachments, energetic attachments that are draining my energy, that are not allowing me to be free. And then that was just the intro. Then I was in a place and I saw Jesus, a bright white being, full of light, full of love. And from his heart, a ball of light was flowing towards my heart, went into my heart, and it started to fill my body up. It was a glorious experience. It was a beautifying experience. And then he said to me, find your goodness. And then I saw a flashback from my whole life, from adulthood to childhood. Then one of the very first memories where I was as a kid, I remember it very well. I was standing as a kid in my mother's bedroom. She was in bed and I was holding my sister's hand. I was taking care of her. And I felt the goodness in that kid. Yet pure innocent goodness. Pure good being. And Jesus said, invoke him. Invoke that into your life now. And then I invited it, and the energy of that child, it streamed, it poured into my body, my mind, and my soul. And I felt this, I felt this presence of gentleness, of kindness towards life, which I haven't felt for a long time, by the way. And so beautiful. I'm so grateful for that experience. After that experience, there started the prayer that was just spontaneously was being said. And it was, Jesus, I love you. I dedicate my life to your purpose, to spreading your message, to be a servant of love, to be a servant of God, to be a servant of goodness. And like, I don't remember it all. I really don't. But there was this whole text. It was like unfolding, like a revelation. Like this text was coming from my soul or from my heart. It was so pure and so deeply precious. The words that were being said were precious. The intent was preciousness. Like that experience, it completely blew me away. Then I was just lying there, and while I was lying there was nothing for me to do anymore. I mean, my energy, my kundalini, I saw it like rising from my body, and it went to the participant next to me, and it went into her body. And as soon as it went into her body, like I was visual aware that was happening, her hand started to move to my hand, and our hands were like, close to each other, touching each other. And a voice said in me, like, grab her hand, let her, take her hand. But a part of me, some part of me, it felt like I would be breaching a boundary, I would make her feel uncomfortable, like it was scared. And then the voice said, open your heart up to all the misery, to all the illnesses, to all the problems, to all the suffering of the world. Open up your heart to all of humanity's suffering. So I put my hand as close as I could without being too direct, just like this. And then I felt energy from my hand moving into her body, and it felt so good, just giving energy, not giving energy, allowing the energy to stream into her. And it felt like there was a true wave of goodness that was being allowed to express itself. I was not doing it. It was happening by itself, and I was just witnessing it. It was wonderful. What else? Right, at the end, I saw my body lying on the ground, and I saw all these energetic cords attached to the body. Like there were, I don't know, thousands. Not thousands, but I think like hundreds. There were a lot of cords anyway. And this energy stream, it was like the kundalini energy or some kind of energy, like a white light, it started to circle around me. And it started to cut every cord. And it was swirling, and then every cord was cut, and then it just laid on me like a dragon going to sleep, napping on me. And I felt the release of all that burden, all that projection, that fantasy, that investment, just all released. I felt free. And then I saw myself as a father. I saw myself having a baby in my hands, and I thought, with who? With who? And then I realized a part of me, there's a fear in me that's afraid to be a father. Because the fear is, I will just be repeating my father's mistakes. Because I have my own issues. I'm not perfect. I have my own things that I'm still stuck with. Some kind of comfort zones, routines, that there's a belief that I need them to be okay. Because of that, there's this fear or sense of I won't be able to take care of myself and be a good father. There's this belief or this thought process that I need to be perfectly okay myself, and then I can be a father and take care, because then I won't have to worry about myself. So yeah, there's some material that I have to work with. yeah, it was. And in these sessions, they are, the facilitators say, the energy, the consciousness, it always gives you what you need. And like from my sessions, the way it's progressing, the way it's unfolding, where I see it going is my life has to be in service of goodness, of God, or love, or Jesus, to embody goodness and to make myself available with all that I have received to help others. Because the past 29, 28 years of my life have been all about trying to get what I didn't get as a child, trying to make up for what I didn't receive, trying to fulfill my desires, trying to fulfill my adventures, fulfill my need for pleasure, sexual pleasure, food, emotional roller coasters, like and I realize that now, everything that I as a child or as an adolescent did not get enough of or feel that there was a lack of, there's an intrinsic need system that is constantly, subconsciously directing my attention and my energy towards getting more of those experiences so that I overcompensate and feel like I lived, I got it, I received what I wanted. But those things, they never fulfilled me. They never filled the hole, or they never made me whole. They only gave me thrills. They only gave me excitement or new experiences, which are also very valuable and very fun in themselves. But I could never enjoy them because I was always seeking them out of a need to feel, to fill the hole. And now I realize, after I became aware of that, I did some transpersonal work on myself, and it was a moment in the process where the fear of not being loved, the fear of being thrown away, was addressed. And there was a moment where the energy was allowed to speak out, to vent out, to explain itself, I gave a voice and attention to that fear and allowed it to be. And then I allowed it to communicate with myself, with my inner child, with my parents, and then it was so obvious that it was not needed anymore. That fear, that belief, that lack was not true. It was a belief that was made on the assumption that I as a child did not receive something. But I can clearly see now that my parents were always loving me. There was always love underneath it all. There was present the love of God, for instance. There was present the love of my mother, of my father. But they had their own issues, their own conditioning, their own life. And they were programmed and conditioned in that way, which only allowed them to express their love in the way that they were capable of doing it. They could not do better, or they would have. And when that realization came, I realized it's all waves of love that is just blocked or not expressed fully, or only expressed to the best of their ability. Because we are all capable, but that does not mean that we're able to. We're only able to when we remove the blocks which prevents our capabilities from from arising and expressing themselves. So that's when that realization came. There was like I just fell on my knees and I started to pray, and I said, Mom, Dad, thank you so much for giving me life. I'm so thankful for everything you've done, for everything you tried, for every ounce of love that was streamed through you, in me, and to me. I know you did your best. I forgive you, I love you. After having that experience, I felt the wholeness. The emptiness felt whole. And the next day, when I stepped out on the street and I looked at people, I just realized, like, I realized in that moment that all my life I've been looking at women in a way that they have something that I want, that I need. So my interaction with them was based on, I need to fill up my hole. So I'm gonna pretend to be loving. I'm gonna pretend to do this. I'm gonna pretend to be this. I'm gonna try to do this. All these strategies to get you to give me the love. And then I was walking here on the street with this fullness. This child who's full of love because he realized the love was always there. And I love him. God loves him. And I looked at people, and all of a sudden I just saw them. There's nothing that they can give me. There's nothing that I need them to give me. Holy moly, when that realization came, I felt so happy because I realized I have a depth inside, and I can just share. I can just be. I can just give. And if I am with somebody, I am there because I want to give. I want to share. And not because I have a need, I have a hole, I have an emptiness, and because of the emptiness, I feel I feel I have a need that you need to fill. So I'm using you. And it's so like that transformation, that going from this to that, it's, oh, holy shit, this is truly like living in a different world. Like my experience of it. I don't feel anxious anymore around women. At all. Because there's no association anymore with they can make me happy. Because there's a knowingness that I don't need anything from them. Because I truly don't need anything from them. I mean, there are things that I would like to experience because I like sex. I like to express sexually. I like to have those experiences. I love it. But I don't need it to feel loved or to feel happy. Do you understand? Like, I'm so grateful for kundalini activation process. I'm so grateful for all the facilitators. They are truly magnificent angels. They give so much. Like, if you go to a session, just want you to know that in the beginning, you may not be, you may be one of the person who's not going to experience a lot, and that is okay. In the beginning, your energy channels, your nadis, they're clearing. So the energy that is moving it's finding its way. But it's working. The work is being done. You just have to trust it. And the more you do it, it's like if you want real results real fast, commit yourself to doing it 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, whatever. Because you will see every time you do it, it will be an invitation to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And with that, it will allow you to be and show up as you really are and to live your best life. And every moment, when you're in that state, every moment feels important. Every moment feels not like it matters, but also not purpose driven. It feels blessed. It feels deep. It feels like a discovery. It feels like an amazement, like an exuberant, joyous revelation, opportunity to experience something. Like, wow, 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 wow. So yeah, I'm grateful for it. Thank you guys for watching. You know, there are a lot of people that are doing this work, that are doing self-development work. And sometimes I see people sharing their process online, and I never commented before. But this time, I commented. And I said, it's so inspiring to see people publicly showing their process, what they're doing with, what they're thinking, what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish, what they're trying to create. And that's so inspiring, because not a lot of people do that in an open, clear way. People either hide it or make it mysterious, or they do it in private. And I mean, for me, it's so inspiring to see that, because then I also get the feeling I can do that. If he can do it, I can do that. It's okay to do that. There are people who are doing it. And it just, not hope, it lets you connect with parts of yourself that are dormant but are waiting to express themselves. And I mean, that's really valuable for me, to be surrounded by those people, so that their expressions can allow me to express more and more and more of who I really am. And if I'm not, then at least I'm aware that I'm not expressing some part of me that wants to be expressed. Great. I wish you all well. May you enjoy happiness and the root of happiness.